Hi, this is Rob Nunnery, and you are reading and listening to The Short List. Today's article is The Label I'm Scared to Put Down. I know it's the right decision. I still want one more run. And this is just an essay about identity and how pro pickleball has been my identity for the past 6 years since I played it full time, and what that identity means, holding on to it, letting go of it, moving in a new direction, what that does to you mentally, emotionally, and why it's so difficult for me. Here we go. I had therapy this week, and my therapist asked me a question I haven't been able to put down since. What was I afraid would happen if I stopped calling myself a professional pickleball player? I sat there for a while because the honest answer was embarrassing. People might care less. The story might get smaller. The ostomy might lose some of its power if it wasn't attached to this comeback story. That last one is the one I've been avoiding. The ostomy has been a proof point for me. Look what I can still do, even with this bag. As long as I was playing pro pickleball, the bag made me more impressive. If I stop playing, it's just a bag. And I used that proof point on myself more than on anyone else. Turning the surgery into a comeback meant I never actually had to grieve what the ostomy took from me. Because why would I need to grieve something that was actually making up my entire new identity? And then a few days ago, a PSA I filmed for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation went live. We shot it back in January. In it, I'm Rob, the pro pickleball player, proof that you can have Crohn's and an ostomy and still do all the things you want to do. Watching it launch this week, I realized it's another piece of me holding on to that story because that's the story that I think people like. You can have a bag and still compete. You can be sick and still win. And the story's true. That's what makes this hard. I can still play. I can train, travel, play golf, do almost everything I could do before, and most of it with much less pain than I've had in years. So the surgery didn't actually end my pickleball career. If anything, it made one possible again. For the first time in a long time, I could actually train and practice without my body punishing me for it. I could not only get back to where I was, but get better than I was. So the question was never whether I can. The question is what it would cost and what it would be for. And when I'm honest, the answer to what for is mostly to show people I still can, that I'm still one of the best players in the world. I know that. Most people watching from the outside have probably decided that I'm not. That gap between what I know I can do and what people think I can do frustrates me more than anything else in this. I can't control what they think. I know that too. I was still just hoping for one more run at just showing them. But I know that thinking. One more tournament, one more project, one more yes. It's run my life for years and it's never satisfied. I could keep going, and that's honestly the problem. I can keep going when I shouldn't. It's been 7 months since I last played a pro tournament in India. People ask me all the time if I'm going to keep playing, and I never have a clean answer. And that's what bothers me more than I'd like because pro pickleball player is the best and easiest answer I've ever had when someone asks what I do. It came with a ranking, sponsors, a schedule, proof that I'm somebody. Now my answer is long. I live in George, South Africa. I'm married. I have Crohn's and a permanent ostomy. I'm building a hydration company. I write a weekly newsletter. And I'm rebuilding my health, my career, my income, all at the ripe age of 41. All of it's true. And to be clear, I chose all of it and still choose all of it. It just takes 3 minutes to explain instead of 3 seconds. And the truth is, I don't miss the answer itself. I miss the certainty and credibility that came with being a pro pickleball player full time. Nobody questioned my ability when that was the introduction, which means the whole thing was purely built on what other people thought of me. And I have to get okay with not caring about that. Easier said than done, of course. I've written before about growing up feeling like nothing I did would ever be good enough. That feeling didn't go away when I turned pro, and it didn't go away when I won titles. The wins honestly never really gave me much, but the label did. When I said pro pickleball player, I didn't have to prove anything else. I've been chasing the feeling of being enough my whole life, and that label helped me feel closer to it. I won't pretend money isn't a part of this conversation either. During the same time as the surgery and recovery, my biggest sponsorship ended. So I'm working through this while rebuilding income in a new country, knowing sponsors mostly pay for players that are actually playing full time and winning. Some nights I think the smart move is to just keep acting like a full time touring pro and keeping that identity because that's what actually sells. But if I'm being objective, my audience has grown more since I stopped touring than it ever did while I was on tour. And most of the people who follow me now don't care whether I play pickleball at all. They're sick, or they have a bag, or someone they love does, and they know what it's like when your body changes and you have to change with it. I still believe the right brand will see the value in that, but believing it doesn't pay anything yet, and it certainly doesn't replace income that I've lost since not playing full time. But to be clear, I still will play. Later this year, I'm going to Tanzania for a tournament, and I'll play others when they make sense for my health, my family, and my income, instead of coming at the cost of all three. So this isn't retirement, but it's not the same life that I lived before either. Because when I picture what a real return would look like, I don't want it. 3 tournaments in 3 cities, back to back weekends, being in certain places at certain times all year long, giving up the open calendar that I crave and that I finally have. Maybe down the road I pick a month and play that whole month, but the year round grind isn't a life I'm willing to trade this one for. Getting to the top of a sport is hard to do. Walking away while you still feel like you can compete at the top is even harder. And still, I have no doubt that it is the right thing for me. It's just hard. The thing that's helping is golf, weirdly. I live in a golf course now, so less than a month ago, I started hitting balls at the driving range, and I had my second lesson this week. Sports have always come naturally to me, so I'm picking it up faster than most, probably. But golf is hard, it's technical, and I'm nowhere near good yet, and I love that feeling. Being new at something, seeing how far there is to go, wanting really badly to get better. I hate being bad at something I feel like I should be good at. It drives me more than almost anything, and I'd forgotten the feeling. I got to become one of the best in the world at a sport millions of people play. That happened. That doesn't change with what I do moving forward. Now I want to find out if I can do it again in business with Flexara, where the upside is bigger, the toll on my body's less, and I get to start at the bottom of something again and suck and learn to be good. The trade scares me. The old life came with clear income, sponsorships, tournament earnings, appearance fees, a number I could typically count on. And now I'm in charge of my own destiny, which sounds good until you're the one funding inventory and waiting out the months it takes a business to actually get up off the ground and working. The real uncertainty is whether I can pull it off. Nothing's forcing this. My body could handle more. I know my game's still there, but I'm choosing this while the door is still open. I'm choosing to walk away while the door's open. And that's exactly what makes this so hard. I'm not at peace with it yet at all. The more I talk about it and write about it, the more okay I do get. And this writing is a part of that, part of the processing of this. I do know it's the right decision. I still want one more run as well. So I'm learning to live with wanting it and not chasing it. Rob. Yeah, this is a tough one. It's about identity and choosing to stop pursuing something full time in exchange for a lower toll on my body, more peace of mind, more roots, community. I'm newly married here in George, South Africa, and really excited about the future that my wife and I are building here. So, as hard as it is to want to prove to others that I'm still as good as I know I am, that's for them. It's not for me. The life I've chosen here is what's for me. And for that, I'm happy with, I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for you for joining in the journey. I'm Rob Nunnery, and you're listening to The Shortlist.